Hello everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to bring you guys a special treat. Let me see if I'm able to explain this correctly and properly and you guys can understand it on my lousy English. JulyZerg was a guest. He was invited to go to the TeSL, which is the league in Taiwan, the new professional league, where you have several fixed teams with players that receive monthly wages, playing every month on TV there, on a special channel, a TV channel, related with gaming. And JulyZerg got an invite to be a guest there and play against some of the best players in Taiwan. He is facing here one of those players. I was able to grab hold of this replay and I'm really happy to be able to sit down and watch it, and obviously I'm going to share it with all of you. Keep in mind that I checked a short interview and I know nothing about the language, as you might imagine, but from what people were commenting on it, and I can link it if you guys want to take a look at it later on, but from what people were commenting on it, apparently July made a comment related with the quality of the players playing in Taiwan, and it wasn't very well received. Apparently he said something like Taiwanese players would need at least 2 more years so they could go on Korea and try to play competitively there. It wasn't very well received, and I think that some of the Taiwanese players and fans were raging over JulyZerg. Well, he had his opinion, his personal opinion. I guess he had his reasons to say that. What I do know is he's going to be facing here against this Pink Protoss. As you can see, his name is Luway. The Rush is from Clan Rush. It's a clan from Taiwan. And JulyZerg is spawning here on this top corner on Zelnaga Caverns. That name JulyZerg, it's because this account was created for him to play in Taiwan, and Zowie is one of the main sponsors from Team Startail. As you guys know, Zowie makes keyboards and mouses and a lot of professional competitive gaming gear, and well, they're one of the major supporters and one of the major sponsors from Team Startail, so they created the account meaning JulyZerg, but it is JulyZerg, and he is playing physically in Taiwan here, so there's no issues with lag or anything like that. He's just playing in the studio against a Taiwanese player, in this situation Luway. Okay, I'm gonna stop blabbering about it. You guys know who the players are. July is very well known, obviously, and taking a look at what July is doing, he went for the spawning pool first and the gas, already getting the speed, the metabolic boost, and took his drones out of the gas the moment that he had the 100 gas required to get that speed going, so he's not very interested on any kind of half gassy build, at least not for now, and he's just trying to take this probe out of the way so he can go for his natural expo, which he did. The hatchery is already going down there. He's going to be playing out of 2 bases soon enough. This probe probably going to get finished off soon enough. It's getting cornered. Yeah, there it is. No more scouting for Luway. But meanwhile, Luway will take his time to expand his gaming here. He went for the forge there on the bottom of the ramp and trying to expand, making a long wall off here and making a really quick nexus. So his natural exo is already up and running, and this is one of those situations that you don't see every day. The Protoss player actually has his expansion working before the hatchery on the main base from July is up and running. It's not something you see every day. I do see that July is already taking care of the rocks. This is going to take him a while with only 2 Zerglings, obviously, but still he's already taking care of it, and try to probably expand his play to 3-base play sometime soon. He doesn't have enough workers, obviously. He's still just trying to mess up as many drones as possible and getting a fast roach warrant. So we might be seeing some pressure here. July knows that his opponent went for the fast expo, so he knows that he doesn't have much of a defense. Let's take a look at the units. Yeah, at the moment he doesn't have any defense at all, and he might be considering trying to apply some early pressure, see if he can just break Luway in on the early stages of the game and finish this off really quickly. There's the first group of workers getting transferred. I think those 2 Zerglings are still poking at the rocks. Oh my god, poor guys, this is going to take them ages. But meanwhile, we are going to have the first batch of roaches coming out, meaning that we might see July just coming down south and try to just bash into this wall off that Luway has been assembling here. And actually quite a sturdy one. As you guys can see, it goes all the way here. It will force July, if he wants to attempt to go by ground and enter the main base, he's going to have to go all the way around here, and that's not feasible, as you might imagine. imagine there will be plenty of defenses. There's already static defenses here, photon cannons, and more gateways getting ready there on the back of the natural expo. While we have July getting his units here close to the entrance on the natural expo from Luway, and here he comes, a lot of Zerglings trying to get a nice surround on that mineral line, killing a lot of probes, actually focusing the fire on that Stalker and the photon cannon, but no, July wasn't able to finish it off, had to pull back with what's left, the remaining Zerglings, and now he has 3 roaches spewing acidic saliva to this nexus, but this is gonna take a while. He needs more forces. From what I can see, July is reinforcing his army, and he is committed to just harass as much as possible now, because he knows that Luway doesn't have much of an army. Incoming all of the Zerglings trying to get a nice surround here on the mineral line on the natural expo. Roaches advancing south, focusing fire on those static defenses and the probes, trying to pin them inside that natural expo and the mineral line, and killing all of them. Ooh, big amount of probes killed there. So July trying to rack up a nice econ boost here, trying to hit the economy from Luway as much as possible, and actually at the moment you have a single probe trying to work there, and most of the workers that were on that line got destroyed, completely made into minced metal. I was gonna say minced meat, but it's not the case. So July able to hold back Luway there a little bit on his economy. He's gonna have to repopulate that mineral line on the natural expo with some more probes, which he is already doing, and now getting his warp gate tech almost finished. 4 gateway play, there's the forge, cyber core inside his main base, there's not much going on. While here on July's side, he's grabbing the gas on his natural expo. There's not much of an army as well. He basically committed a lot of resources there to make that assault, lost a lot of Zerglings, but seems like he's just stacking up, getting the lair tech, preparing himself to start benefiting from the units that the second layer of Zerg tech will provide him, or the upgrades. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see, but I would say he might be going for some kind of pressure, continuous pressure here, so he can stop Luway from advancing and progressing on his game. For now, he had the big hit on his economy. As you can see, we have July leading the way, 40 against 36, not by much, like 1200, 1300 against 1000, but still a bit of a gap there, especially because Luway was the first one to have 2 bases rolling, and now he's falling behind on his economy. Army wise, let's take a look. 64 versus 64, so exactly carbon copy there. On the unit composition, we have 2 roaches, 2 queens, 16 Zerglings against 7 stalkers, 2 zealots, 3 sentries. So not much of an army on any of the sides, and both players committing themselves to a bit of SimCity, a bit of macro play. We have the Evo chamber getting some upgrades for those roaches, the missile attacks level 1, and inside the main base we have an hydralist den. Ooh, interesting decision here by July, especially because, as you guys know, the hydralists, they are fragile, but they have a tremendous DPS, and they're quite effective against gateway units. July here just taking a peek over the bases from Luway, spotted basically everything he wanted here, and now he's probably gonna go back with the Overseer. He can even consider gooping it up if he has the chance, but for now he's just checking the amount of gateways, and there's not much else for him to take a look at, not much else that he already didn't know of. There it is, gooping that forge, so delaying a little bit the ground's weapons level 1. Nice move. Does it still have energy? Only 25, so he's gonna need a bit more. And incoming a push here by Luway, straight into this 3rd base from July. July was trying to get his hatchery up here and forced to cancel, and now Luway is gonna pull back, escape with his units. Nice move by Luway, delaying that 3rd base from July and forcing him to come all the way down, try to intercept these units that are trying to go south and reach these bases, but no, intercepted here. A lot of stalkers getting a nice surround with those Zerglings, but then a huge force field play containing the movements from the JulyZerg's forces and allowing Luway to escape with his units coming all the way down south to the big fortress that he assembled here. Static defenses, a big wall. This is the place where Luway would like to fight every battle, but you will have to consider his options and expand anytime soon. He saw that July is already attempting to get his 3rd base. There it is, his 2nd expo is already getting established once more. Once again, nice force field play there, containing the moves. There's only a couple of Zerglings that were able to pass, and the big bulk of the forces from July, all of those hydralists and roaches just got stuck on the back, waiting for the the force fields to finish off. More force field play, trying to split the forces from July, and now we have those hydralisks spewing as many of those spine grooves into the forces from luwayRush, trying to DPS them as much as possible. But there's still a big force here on the army, as you can see, still fairly close there on the count, on the supply count, but you have 13 stalkers and 7 sentries against 8 roaches and 12 hydralisks. We actually have a pretty interesting force here by July, while he keeps gooping all of the stuff that Luway tries to assemble. Now he's trying to get the blink researched on his Twilight Council while pushing here. Again, JulyZerg with a nice split with the force fields, leaving the very fragile hydralisks on the front line, trying to be shot one by one, picked off by the stalkers. The stalkers already have 1 on the upgrades, while the hydralisks also has 1 there on the needle spines. So it's 1 assault, 1 attack on both sides, but that big force field play, using this choke point as a key place to keep splitting the forces from JulyZerg, are just stopping him from advancing properly. He was gooping here the blink, but meanwhile it got finished. There's already a robotics facility there on the back as well, meaning that we might be seeing some Colossi play later on. We're still missing the robotics bay, but we might be seeing it sooner or later, I guess. Keep in mind that those Colossi are quite effective against the hydralisks, especially on a unit composition such as this one that July has at the moment, since he has the hydralisks with no front line. Maybe a front line made out of roaches would be the most effective unit composition there for July if he wants to back up his hydralisks and allow them to DPS as much as possible, because the hydralisks on the front line, they will just get roasted tremendously fast. More gas getting grabbed here by July. Let's take a look at his bases. He's getting the Baneling's nest there on the corner, and inside his main base there's no more building, so everything just rolling, while we have July taking more and more information. He keeps flying with overseers on top of the bases from Luway and taking all the information he needs, and he should be using this to his advantage. Once again, gooping its way on this warp gate, on this situation, try to be as pesky and annoying as possible. I really like this overseer play, though it requires a bit of attention and microing. Obviously you need to be careful not to lose it while you keep flying it above your opponent's bases, but you take so much information, you just keep tabs on everything your opponent is doing, and at the same time you're just delaying his progress with all that gooping with the contaminate. So it is a nice play by July, and at the same time he's playing out of 3 bases. The economy is thriving for July. He's getting close to 2,000 now, 1,800 against 1,300, though he has less workers at the moment, and July now grabbing his 4th base on the rich mineral field while making a ton of Banelings. Interesting unit composition. Let's take a look here once again. A lot of Banelings, 30, 19 roaches, 4 hydralisks, and apparently he's going to try to advance to the 3rd from Luway. Luway is getting a big solid wall here, and here he comes. Roaches, Banelings and hydralisks trying to put down this wall, clashing a lot of Banelings against those buildings there, but ooh, nice force field play once again, forcing July to pull back, and he lost so many of that Baneling force. He clashed so many of them against that big wall that Luway was establishing, but it wasn't enough. Sturdy defense here. Look at the amount of photon cannons, and now he's going to get gateways to get it even stronger, so he can maintain and survive with this 3rd base that is probably essential to his economy at the moment, since already so much time has gone. We're already on 18 minutes play, and you can't just keep yourself playing out of 2 bases for that long. So Luway knows that he needs to keep protecting that 3rd base with a nice snipe here from July, destroying the robotics, destroying the cybernetics core there. A nice shot trying to delay the build from Luway and stopping him from providing more units to his unit composition. We do have Colossus coming out now for Luway. It's going to be effective if July goes fairly heavy on those hydralisks, but for now let's take a look at the units, see how many hydralisks he's got. Only has 3 at the moment. Still, the unit composition from July includes a lot of roaches there, 20 roaches and 22 zerglings, and those colossi will be able to help out grinding down this front line. Once again, the roaches trying to advance, applying the pressure, but no, there's way too many defenses. July needs to try another vector to approach here. He cannot go there unless he just sacrifices a million banelings and clash them all against these buildings, but I mean, this place is so sturdy that he should be probably considering to enter some other place. As you guys know, here on Zelnaga Caverns, there's a lot of entrances, a lot of accesses to the Natural Expo. Should be a thing to consider, or maybe through this corridor, I guess. July could consider that as well. We have the spire there on the back. getting 15 Mutalisks done. Oh, okay, so he's gonna make a big transition here, might be able to catch Luway off guard with that big Mutalisk wave starting to fly around and harass everything that moves on Luway's side. I'm wondering, yeah, apparently he's gonna head to the north side of the main base from Luway and probably try to harass here on the mineral line. There's not much left of that, as you can see. Even this one is getting quite scarce, but incoming all of those Mutalisks advancing into this main base. They're gonna go straight to the mineral line, finish off the worker count, killing a lot of probes. And now will they focus fire on any of the buildings? No, they're going after that Colossi with Blink Stalker showing up right on top of them. He needs to be careful. This Blink Stalkers already have 2 upgrades there on the assault, while we have the Mutalisks having, let me see how much do they got at the moment. They got 0, and we have a lot of roaches here trying to destroy as many workers as possible from this third base, while the harass ensues with the Mutalisks on the main base, as you guys could follow there on the picture screen. We have a lot of roaches here. They're trying to get a nice high position here that will allow the roaches to reach all of the workers touching the minerals, and look at them, they're just racking up so many kills on this third base, interrupting the economy, while a massive clash ensues here in the middle of the map with the Colossi advancing. I'm gonna take all of this HP bars, it's just way too much, too many units, and here they come trying to advance into this massive assault into this area of the rich mineral field from JulyZerg. Look at how many are here, look at how many stalkers, all of them shooting down all of the forces from JulyZerg. Oh, we just lost his Mutalisk wing, completely wrecked against the forces from Luway, and now Luway advancing to the rich mineral field, trying to finish off this big force that July had here, forcing July to withdraw. Look at the stalker count, there's so many of them, with July trying to hang on the back. There's not much left of the forces from JulyZerg, it's just a small group of roaches, it's not even enough, and he needs to pull back. He knows that he just lost his rich mineral field and there's nothing for him to do about that. He needs to wait up, try to reinforce his army and assault once more. He's now getting some counters to that Colossi play, I'm assuming, getting Corruptors out, but this big death ball is tremendously dangerous and just destroyed the rich mineral field, heading now straight to this third base from July and basically focusing fire on the bases that are providing the income for JulyZerg. As you can see, he's losing a lot of workers, and if he loses this base, this is going to be a major loss for July. July bringing his forces, try to get a last-ditch effort here, but the nice force field play by Luway containing the advance once more, not allowing those Hydralisks to have a proper range to all of the units here. And as you can see, you have a big Stalker army here advancing. There's plenty of them. Most of the army survived basically by Luway, and now more Stalkers coming out from the back, reinforcing this big massive death ball. And as you can see on the supply, you have 178 against 128, so a massive difference here in favor of Luway. Doesn't seem like JulyZerg has what it takes at the moment. Luway just pulling down north, while JulyZerg entails a pursuit with his Hydralisks trying to DPS down those Colossi, finally killing both Colossi. Corruptors destroy there, and now he doesn't have a line to help out this Hydralisks to DPS properly. He needed some roaches on the front or some other unit to back them up so they could divert the fire while the Hydralisk would put the DPS out. And we have July in trouble, in dire straits here. As you can see, there's a massive difference there on the income. July just lost both bases that were providing his income, this rich mineral field and his third base, and as you can see, his main base is completely drained out of minerals. His natural exo still has some, but not that many, and July needs to do something about this. He needs to advance, try to expand once more, but he needs to gather up some minerals for that, obviously. And we have the Corruptors trying to advance here, but instantly thwarted by a big death ball that Luway has been assembling for quite a long time now. Plenty of Stalkers, all of them now, let me look, with 3 on the assault on the upgrade, so meaning that the attack will be just so powerful, while the Hydralisks only have 1-1 and the Corruptors only have 1 on the attack. So this will provide a tremendous damage to the Stalkers from Luway, not allowing the July to destroy this big death ball unless he messes up a much bigger army than this one, and doesn't seem to be the case since July cannot afford it at the moment. He needs to expand once more, needs to risk. Notice that he's even long distance mining from the rich mineral field. He's just getting desperate, and now finally assembled enough minerals to make a hatchery on that rich mineral field once more and try to benefit from the income from it. There's some Corruptors here flying around, but I mean, only 3 of them is not enough. They're trying to focus fire on that Colossus, but instantly Blink Stalkers on top of them, wrecking all of the plans that July might have for these Corruptors. He would be needing a major force, Corruptor force, to finish off this Colossi play, and well, he doesn't have what it takes at the moment. Let's see if Luway is going to give any breathing space to July, because if that's not the case, I might foresee that July is going to be in trouble and might lose this game. July apparently trying to make a move here on the left side close to the Zelnaga watchtower, try to get a flank on the forces from Luway, but Luway moving once again to this left side, getting on that Zelnaga watchtower, and we have kind of a dance here between JulyZerg's forces and Luway's forces. As you can see, the armies are quite different at the moment. JulyZerg doesn't have much of an army and plenty of banelings there as well, meaning that as soon as they explode, they'll just be gone. And as you can see, you have like 8 Hydralisks, some banelings, 23 actually, quite a lot. Oh, he just destroyed that Colossus, intercepted it, we destroyed it with the banelings, but there's not much of the force left, as you can see. 9, now 10 Mutas, some Corruptors, not enough Hydralisks, not enough Zerglings, and just getting completely roasted here by the massive death ball that Luway assembled. He's trying to advance now, killing some of those Overlords, and going once again to the rich mineral field from JulyZerg. July is getting more Air Force incoming, but he doesn't have much of an army. Now, shot down once more the rich mineral field by July, and we have Luway just advancing north with this massive force, 189 against 81. On the income, there's a massive difference as well. Worker count 70 against 40, and now we're gonna have Luway just knocking on JulyZerg's door and saying, I'm gonna finish you with this last killing blow, shooting down that natural expo. And now we have July just stuck on one base while he attempts to harass. As you can see on that third base, you could follow it on the picture-in-picture screen, and you have the big death ball from Luway just trying to wrap up this match, trying to finish off the buildings and what's left of the forces from JulyZerg. JulyZerg on a desperate effort here, pulling some drones, pulling some banelings and Zerglings, but there's nothing else left, and now he's gonna lose all of his production facilities on the main base, and GG's out of this match. Whoa, this was intense. Quite a powerful move here by Luway, very heavy on the Stalker play, as you can see, with also plenty of upgrades, 3 on the attack. And JulyZerg, just the moment he lost his rich mineral field and then lost his third base, he was just so far behind that he wasn't able to come back and try to get himself replenished on his economy and muster up and reinforce once more his army. It was too little too late. We have Luway taking the victory here. Interesting match. July apparently didn't have what it take on this specific battle, and I'm assuming that the Taiwanese players would appreciate this battle based on the fact that July made that comment saying that Taiwanese players probably would have to practice for 2 more years to stand a chance on the GSL. I guess that he just showed that in the right moment with the right situation, even the Taiwanese could take some wins out of July. It's done. I hope you guys enjoyed this match. I think it was a pretty cool one. See you all later. Have fun.